But we talk about some old, grizzled, leathery vets that the Leafs have brought in. Joe Thornton, I would say chief among them, right? We like that. Patrick Marleau was going to kind of be that guy, but he's more of a finesse guy. Still playing in the league, though. A little overpaid, but great effect on the team.
He's good in the play.
Wayne Simmons, less old than Joe Thornton, but enjoyed an incredible resurgence here and has that attitude that the Leafs were lacking, right? We agree with that? Okay.
Yep.
How do you feel about hard miles, but still somewhat producing Eric Staal?
Ooh.
I don't hate it.
I really like that idea, Adam.
I mean, he's
really like that.
1-year deal, right? And so he expires at the end of the year. And he's, you don't need to rely too much on him at third line center, but he's a guy that can step in on the power play, could step up if one of the two major centers go down because he's been there before. You're hoping that he doesn't have to do it for more than 3 games, but it is what it is. There's a guy that's been there, won a cup, and gives you a little bit more of that sinewy thing. You know what I mean?
What does he give you, Adam?
Sinewy. What do they call that? That like where it's like that really hard tendon stuff. Like it's like that.
Oh, it's sinew, and I feel
sinew. That's what is it. I can't. That's what it is. Sinew. I can't speak.
Sinew. What do you have to give up? What do you have to give Buffalo to get Eric Staal?
I can't imagine it's much. I mean, like what I would say to Buffalo is, do you want to hang on to him? Right? Like if it's really because hold on, I'm going to look it up right now.
How wrong were we about him? Oh, you watch. Eric Staal is going to put Jeff Skinner in his happy place, and he's going to have a resurgent season. And Ralph Kruger has locked Jeff Skinner in the garage. Like that. That dude has played 14 games, has no goals, 1 assist, and makes $9 million.
Here's the thing: he's going to outlast Ralph Kruger in Buffalo if Ralph Kruger keeps doing that. Like the players can love Ralph Kruger all they want. They don't produce, and this guy's making $9 million and he's not playing every night. Ralph Kruger will be fired over this.
If you're ownership and you know your team sucks, you get to make the calls because you're ownership. I generally advise against this ownership getting involved, but you got to be like, okay, your number one mission is no longer winning. It is getting Jeff Skinner to score.
Mm-hmm.
That's not good enough. This is $9 million.
Yeah.
That's
You're
not,
the coach.
sorry.
Figure it out.
Separate conversation. But no, Staal hasn't been bad. 6 points in 14 games.
But last year, 47 and 66. The year before, 52 and 81. If you're getting 40 points from Eric Staal over the course of an 82-game season, at this point, you're happy. And that from a third-line player? Come on. That's not bad. That's what we wanted from Kerfoot.
The Leafs have their own. So the Leafs only have 5 picks in this upcoming draft.
Mm-hmm.
They have their own first, their own second. They don't have a third. They have their own fourth, their own fifth. Their 6th is conditional, and they don't have a 7th. The second I don't know, that might be an overpayment, but that should get the deal done. For crying out loud. Unless Staal goes on some sort of unbelievable heater.
You wait till the absolute last minute to make this deal, by the way. You don't make this deal early. Who cares about the 14-day quarantine? Doesn't matter. It's not like the Leafs' position in the division is going to be that threatened if things go the way they go, right? You don't care. Like, a lot of people are like, well, the Leafs will have to make the deals early because the 14-day quarantine. Leafs don't care. They do not care. They've got the guys to plug the gaps until Eric Staal arrives. You want to give him some time to gel with the players. I get that. But to be honest with you, I don't want to commit to Eric Staal until I've seen more Eric Staal. But I think he should be a high-value target as a centerman, proven guy, here for 20 games and the playoff run as far as it goes. And I don't think a second-rounder is what you should give up for him. I think it should be less than that. Buffalo sucks. Nobody has any money. The trade deadline is going to be, honestly, nobody has any money, guys. These owners are losing money hand over fist. It's a really, really, really tough sell for any NHL owner at this point, with the exception of maybe the top 5 teams in earnings, to bring on any contract. It's a tough sell. I don't think we'll ever know how bad it is, but I can tell you it's bad. If they're saying we would have lost less money for sitting and not playing at all, then that tells you something. And so I think when you're talking about trade deadline deals, when a team like the Sabres has the chance to save any dollars, they'll take it. And I don't think the market for guys like Eric Staal are going to be that huge. I get that he's a center. I get that he's still producing well. And again, you got to remember, he's got 6 points in 14 games on the shitty Sabres. Look at how bad Wayne Simmons was for the Sabres last year. Look at how bad everyone was for the Sabres last year. The Sabres are bad. They turn good players into bad players. Look at what happened to Ryan O'Reilly with the Sabres.
That's crazy.
He's now the captain of the St. Louis Blues.
I don't know what you do. I don't know what you do there in terms of making them better, but that's not the task at hand. Who cares? Eric Staal is a very interesting choice, Adam.
That's my. I have a question to also solve your problem internally this time, Adam. Corporations they'll be like, oh, we'll solve this internally.
We're going to post it internally for 2 weeks, and then we'll put it out in the public.
Instead of bringing someone from the outside in. What about your top 6 forwards look like this? Hyman, Matthews, Marner. This is when everyone's healthy, obviously. So not even Hyman, Thornton even. Thornton, right? Matthews, Marner. And then some combination of Tavares, Hyman, or Simmons. And then Willie becomes your third line center.
Ooh. That ship sailed.
Is it gone?
Yeah, I think. Remember I said Game 5 against Columbus. We were like, what are these asinine choices that the Leafs are making? You're going to give Andreas Johnsson his first game in God knows how long. Well, that's because they were giving him his chance to play his last game as a Leaf. And I think when they started Willie at second line center, they were giving him a chance. They were basically finding out once and for all if that's going to be a thing.
Show us.
It's not. I think it's like Kerfoot. It's like Kerfoot in that he can do it, but I don't think it's the best way to use him. But with Willie, because of the $7 million and because of his skill on the wing, the stakes are just higher. They're higher. The Kerfoot, Tavares, Willie line, if you really want to look at it, is 3 centers, which that's how most good Olympic teams are made. But
Nylander and Tavares haven't looked great this year together. So I'm just trying to find a way to split it up. That's the thing.
That's fair. I don't hate them together. I don't hate them together.
They're clearly good. Like they've had success. They're battling it though. And it's funny because I feel like JT is having individual success. And if you look at both of their point totals, they're both fine. They're fine.
I think Willie has 1 point in his last 7 games or something.
Right. But he did start up a lot a point a game. He did. Yeah. He did start the season at like a point a game.
He racked up a lot early, and then
he racked it up early when Matthews was struggling.
Yeah.
Let me throw this at you as a third line, Jesse, if we're talking about line combinations.
Yeah.
What about Hyman, Staal, Simmons? Do you hate that?
There's something.
Maybe there's a line. There's a line that you don't want to play.
We keep talking about who's up next, right? And it's Pierre Engvall and Alexander Kerfoot's job to prevent this conversation.
Yeah,
from happening, right? And they've been doing a good job. Engvall's been solid, especially last game. It sucks so much having Hyman out of the lineup because that dude eats on the third line.
I got another line combo for you.
Gimme.
Okay, ready? Hyman.
I love it.
Staal. Robertson.
That dude may not be long for the AHL.
Or Simmons, Staal, Robertson. And here's the thing. If you get Robertson on a line with Eric Staal, you'll never get the puck because Eric Staal is going to win most faceoffs. He's over 50% all the time, forever and ever, amen. And then you got Nick Robertson who plays like he plays. And as you said, Steve, if Zach Hyman is that low because Kerfoot's producing up high, then you've got Zach Hyman who eats pucks a lot. That's a scary third line.
Yeah, I think the Leafs enjoy situations like the one they're heading into with Calgary. I think they got this 10-point cushion, and the team's doing so well, and it just seems like nothing can slow them down. And I think they want to see how deep the rabbit hole goes. But can we might see Nick Petan on the first line tonight, guys. I think they want to see how it goes.
Why not?
Who's it going to be? It's going to be.
Now's the time, right?
Is it a disappointment that none of us have brought up Jimmy Vesey?
I think he took a shot and it didn't work out.
They've given him an opportunity. And it's funny, I was looking at players the Leafs could give Buffalo to help even out the money a little bit, and I was like, Jimmy Vesey, you imagine? No!